And we're back. Renee Michaels is it Michaels?
Yes.
I want to make sure because
You got it.
been under a lot of pressure lately. Anyway, she's a service dog advocate, among other things, and she joins me now. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I
So
appreciate
nice
it.
to have you here. This animal is absolutely a dream to watch.
Oh.
I mean, never takes his eyes off of you.
He does a good job. He knows his job for sure.
What's the difference between what this dog is labeled as a service dog and, let's say, a service lizard?
Well, that's an easy answer because there's no such thing as a service lizard.
Okay.
The ADA only recognizes dogs and in some cases miniature horses. The ADA is the Americans with Disabilities Act. That's the federal law that governs the rights of people with disabilities, of all disabilities, but there's a section that's specifically for service animals. So I will say though that in some states, Oklahoma is not one of them, that does allow other animals, but there's very few, and when I say other animals, I mean like a cat or something like that. I know that like in Canada they allow cats, but there are some states that do allow, but not many.
You come in here with a dog. What if somebody walks in with a parrot or an iguana or, I don't know, any other kind of animal and says, this is my service animal? That's not legit, is it?
It is not. It is not. Like I said, the ADA only recognizes and protects dogs and in some cases miniature horses. Anything else is against the law. They're misrepresenting their pet as a service animal, which I believe last year became a misdemeanor in the state of Oklahoma. So you could get charged with a crime.
Really?
For misrepresenting your pet as a service animal.
I did not realize that our collective wizards at the state capitol had it together that well.
Well, it took a while, and I was surprised it actually happened too, because you know they make promises and they're making this effort to do it. But if you're paying attention, they're actually doing this across the country. There's states all over that are starting to recognize that misrepresentation is a problem, and it's hurting the legit service dog community. You know, if somebody comes in with their animal that they claim it's a service animal, whether it's another dog or a parrot, if they go into a store and that animal is disruptive, causes problems, not trained, it can actually reflect on us, and then the store management, the owners start to think that service animals are a problem when it's really not, because those are not real service animals. You can tell the difference. You could tell by their behavior.
Is monitoring you, or what's the message he's delivering now?
Right now, he's bored.
He's what?
He's bored.
Oh, bored.
This is his bored, yeah. Or he wants a treat. But usually, I can tell when he's getting ready to alert. Like say if I'm at the store and I'm standing in an aisle or in a line or something, and he will usually come stand directly in front of me and just stare up at me. And I can kind of tell by the look on his face. Yeah, I can tell by the look on his face that he's processing what's going on. And then so I just wait to see what he does, and usually he ends up jumping on me. So he's kind of got like a two-step method of getting my attention. He'll just stand directly, he'll just get right there in front of me.
We're getting a shot of the animal right now, which I don't mean to, please don't take it wrong when I say the animal, but he's wearing a very specific, very obvious halter that tells anyone who bothers to look what he is.
Correct.
He is a service animal. Can people walk up and pet him?
No. As a matter of fact, his says do not pet for that reason, because I have had people that always want to pet my dogs. But here's the thing, this is where it gets really confusing. The ADA does not even require, it is not a law that handlers have to label their dogs in any way. So he could go naked, as we say, and he would still be a service dog. He would still have public access rights, all the rights I would have all the rights as a service handler to bring him anywhere. The idea is that when you see a dog in public, if it's well behaved, just assume it's a service dog and leave it alone. I like to say, if you would not say something or go up and touch somebody's wheelchair or their walker or their oxygen tank, then don't do it to my dog, because they're medical equipment. They're not pets. They're medical equipment. So if you wouldn't do those things to somebody that has medical equipment, as we would think of that, then don't do it to people who have service animals.
What's his name?
Finn.
Finn? So Finn's with you 24/7? it's interesting to me to note the behavior of the animal. Like right now, his attention is you. You read it, he knows it. I mean, you guys are joined at the hip. Was it always that way?
With him, no, because again, I got him when he was older, so it took a little while to build that bond. My first dog, I got her as a puppy, so I trained her from the beginning. So we had that bond fairly early. But because of his breed, they're very people-oriented, so it didn't take that long. But he, you know, there was a process that he had to trust me, and then I had to trust him that he was actually going to do what he's being trained to do.
If someone out there could possibly use a service animal, how do they go about getting one for themselves?
There's actually, I always tell people there's 3 options, and there may be more, but these are the top 3. First, they can do a program dog. So there's schools that provide dogs, they train them, they do all the things that you can go to and get on their waiting list, which could be 2 years or more, upwards of $60,000 for a program dog. Or you can owner train. These are all legal under the ADA. You can owner train, which is basically what he would be considered as an owner trained service dog. You can get a dog, train it yourself. And then you can do like a hybrid where you can hire a private trainer to kind of work alongside you as you owner train your dog. And so then you can maybe ask that trainer to help you find a dog. It's always better if you want to, if you need a service dog, and I want to clarify, for a person to need a service dog, they actually have to have a disability that's recognized under the ADA. And I'm going to paraphrase it, but the ADA says that a disability is something that prevents somebody from living their daily life, you know, something that causes issues with day-to-day living. That's not the exact wording, but that's my paraphrase. So if you have a disability, like somebody who has PTSD, for example, they might end up having a PTSD attack out in public. You know, so they need a service dog to kind of help regulate that.
Well, let me, because time is just getting away from us, but at what age might one get their hands on a service animal?
I don't recommend that children do, although some people do have their kids have service dogs, but it's usually the parent that is managing the dog. When a person is able to care for the dog themselves and manage the dog themselves, then they can have, I think it's a good time to have one if they need it.
You wear a lot of hats.
I do.
I mean, you got your pen dipped in a lot of inkwells. You're what, an actress? You're a writer, and you children's books.
I write children's books about service dogs. Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you for taking time to visit with us.
Thank you for having me.
And if someone is interested, how do they go about? Who do they call to get their name in the pot?
Well, I mean, I can always point people in the direction if they need some suggestions. You can look up Renee, or Actress with a Service Dog, on pretty much all socials. Actress with a Service Dog, I can point people in the right direction. I work closely with a trainer in Bartlesville who places service dogs. So that's an option. If they have questions, I'm happy to help.
I'd like to get a service boa constrictor and walk around the grocery store with that wrapped around me.
You definitely would keep people away, for sure.
No kidding. Hey, thank you for taking time.
Thank you so much.
We really appreciate it. And Ben, see you next trip, lad. Yeah, give me something. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back with a master gardener right after this.